Come on now, you know this is your favorite time of day. It's lunchtime true crime. Listen, this is the time of day where we all get together and we talk a little true crime just to pass the time. Just to pass the time. We entertain ourselves while we have our little lunch. But you know what you need to do? First, get your earbuds, because God knows I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Then we need to talk about Stephen Beard. Look, Stephen Beard, in this particular case, not a bad guy. Poor Stephen Beard, the dearly departed Stephen Beard, got unalive. But let me tell you what happened. So look, this lady Celeste was married to a dude, Craig, right? And they had twin girls. That's so cute. Don't you just love twins? Two babies at the same time. Glad that didn't happen to me, because that's a lot of babies at the same time. But okay, they have these two babies. And then they're like, I don't like you that much. Let's go on and get divorced. So they agree to get divorced. And I'm like, okay. Sometimes people get divorced. Only child custody was a little bit of an issue. So they were like, we have two kids. We have the perfect plan. You'll take one and I'll take one. And then we'll move to opposite sides of the country. Who thought this was a good idea? I think this is a horrific idea. But these people are like, okay, we live on opposite ends of the country, but I have a child that looks just like the one you have, so we're even? Okay, whatever. So the mother Celeste is like, I'm single now, and I have this beautiful child who looks just like the one that's over there, but I don't need me a new husband. Who can I get? Steve. Hey, Steve, how you doing? You like kids? You like kids? I got a cute girl. Look. And if this one's not enough, there's another one who lives across the country, and she gonna come in the summertime, but we'll see her soon. And Steve was like, that's delightful. I love you, Celeste. You're so pretty. And you have a nice daughter. We're going to make a nice family together. And this dude, not an evil stepfather. In fact, he was a delightful stepfather. And in the summer, the other twin, so the twin that was living there locally, I believe was Christina. The twin who was living far away was Jennifer. So one summer, Celeste is like, I'm going to have both the girls and it's all going to be terrific. So both girls are over there and they're living with Celeste and Steve. And Craig, the daddy, unalives himself. Yikes. And now, it's not clear if he unalived himself or if he had some sort of medical situation, whatever. He's no longer on this side of glory. That's the bottom line. He's done for. And so the twins were like, yay, we're back together. And oh no, our dad is dead. But Steve Beard, the sainted Steve Beard, was just like, you know what, girls? I will be your new dad. In fact, I'm going to adopt you. And guess what? I'm a millionaire. And they were like, oh, yay, we won the parental lottery. We got a new millionaire stepdaddy. And he's going to adopt us. So money. So they're like, okay, this is cool. And he was a good dad. He did homework with them. He took them on field trips. And he's like, I'm going to adopt you and give you my last name. And also, I wear this nice ring. I'm going to give each of you girls rings to symbolize that you are part of the Beard family. And they're like, this is so delightful. And so they're all living and they're having a nice life. Only the mama Celeste, she was a little bit crazy. Like, not like, oh, she's eccentric and she spends too much money at the QVC or whatever, like legitimately some mental health illness. And they were like, okay, Celeste girl, we see you having a hard time. So we're going to send you over here to the nervous hospital and you could just go on and enjoy the nice pudding that they serve you or whatever they do over there. So she goes to the nervous hospital for a while and she checks herself in. I think they checked her in. But they checked her in and she's there for a little while and she got her whole situation straightened out. And so she comes out and she's like, I am feeling so much better. Thank you so much. Steve, thank you so much for taking good, gentle care of my daughters. And now I'm going to act like I have some common doggone sense. And everybody was like, that is terrific. Everything is good. And she's like, while I was over at the nervous hospital, I met this lady, Tracy. She's my new best friend. And they were like, that's great. Should you be making BFFs while you're at she's okay. So Tracy was at the house all the time. She was coming over for dinner. She was lovely. And they were like, okay, she's a good friend of my mom. She helps keep mom calm. She's like an emotional support friend. Great. Everything is going well. And every now and then Celeste would go like kind of off the deep end, but Tracy was able to bring her on back over. And they were like, okay, this is really good. And so one night, one of the girls was out spending the night at her boyfriend's house. Who lets their teenagers spend the night at their boyfriend's house? That's not happening. My sons, my teenage sons, let a girl. Now listen, girls might be sneaking up and spending the night in here all the time. I don't know, because I'm not like a security guard or whatever. But to my knowledge, no young girls are spending the night. We're not doing that. Anyway, So one of the daughters was over spending the night at her boyfriend's house. So the other daughter that was home is like, wait, why do I hear all this? She hears all this racket and going on, and her mother's like, help, something terrible has happened. So Christina, I believe it was, jumps up and it's just like, wait, what's going on? She runs upstairs to her parents' bedroom. The cops are there. The paramedics are there. She's like, what's happening? Steve is there on the bed, dead or half dead, looking dead to her. She was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Did he have a heart attack like my dad did? What am I going to do? Oh my gosh, I've lost 2 fathers. They take him to the police and they were like, yeah, he had a heart attack, but mostly because somebody shot him. The girls were like, wait, what now? Somebody shot our father. Oh my God, this is terrible. So they're crying and they're upset. And the mom is like, he's dead. Interesting. And they were like, okay, Mom, okay, we know that you have some mental health struggles, but we are very sad. Can you at least pull yourself together enough to comfort us? And she was like, yes, girls, I know you're sad. Okay, listen, why don't you come with me down to the funeral home and we'll plan his funeral? And they're like, okay, Mom, we're gonna go and we're gonna help plan the funeral. So they're going through all the plans or whatever. And the mom is like, let's go to the casket room. I love shopping. Don't you just love shopping? So they go in the casket room and the mom is like, I think he would look good in that one. Don't you think he would look good in that one? I think he would look good in that one. And girls, you see those pink caskets over there? We should get some of those for you. I'm sorry, what, Mom? When we go to the mall, sometimes we pick out matching outfits. When we go to the casket place, we're not. The girls were like, oh, this heifer crazy. My mother has had some mental health struggles, but her and the caskets and the picking out of the So the police were like, we would like to talk to you about what happened to your stepfather. And like, have you looked at our mother? Because our mother was trying to pick out the casket. Something about our mom is shady. Now listen, she's always been a little bit nuts, and she went to the nervous hospital and she has an emotional support friend. I don't know what's happening with that emotional support friend, but now she want to pick out matching caskets for me and my sister. Please arrest her. And the cops are like, right. We can't arrest her because she tried to pick out caskets, but please tell us more. And they were like, well, she has this friend Tracy, and we don't know what's going on with them, but the whole relationship looks suspicious to us, and she's real close to Tracy. So talk to Tracy. The cops are like, Tracy, you say? Oh, what is Tracy's address? What is Tracy's phone number? So they're going over to Tracy's house like, hey, Tracy girl, how you doing? Hey, listen. You heard about Steve getting shot with that shotgun, right? And Tracy was like, I heard something about that. They're like, great. Do you own a shotgun by chance? And she was like, yes, I do. It's in a back closet. I haven't used it in ages. And they were like, okay, great. Can we take a look at it? And she was like, why, of course. So she hands over her shotgun. And they were like, we're going to take this and run some little tests. And like, smells like it's been fired recently. You mind if I borrow this? I'm going to give you a receipt. Here's your receipt. Okay, thanks so much. See you later. So they take her shotgun down to the lab and they run all the tests. And they're like, oh, the bullets out of this shotgun match exactly what was in Steve's body. They're like, Tracy girl, you now have the right to remain silent. And they smack the handcuffs on her and they throw her behind in jail. And Celeste was like, too bad. Looks like Tracy shot your daddy. So y'all want to go to the mall? And the girls were like, Mama, your BFF killed our father who we loved. We already lost one father. Now we lost the second father. Now we looking at you crazy because your BFF has shot and killed our very rich stepfather, who is now our adopted father. What is going on? And so she's like, y'all are stressing me out. And so she freaked out again. And so they put her back in a nervous hospital. And they talk to her all the time, but she's crazy, ranting, raving, screaming, going nuts. And the girls are like, we are sensible girls. This is what we're going to do. We're going to record Mom when she calls, so later we can play them back for her and see, Mom, this is how crazy you sound when you're ranting and raving and screaming at us on the phone. So this is back in the olden days when they had those cassette tapes. So they were like, let me get Memorex. Okay, put this cassette tape in, calling Mama. Back in the day, you had to push play and record. Y'all oldsters know what I'm talking about. Click, push both buttons at the same time. Okay, let's hold the phone so Mama can hear. Okay, Mom, so what were you saying? And Mama is ranting and raving like a lunatic. And she says lots of crazy things, including, I have hired a hit person to kill Tracy. They were like, right, say more, Mom. And so she keeps going on and on and on about how she's going to kill the girls. And that's why she wanted to pick out the coffins and she going to kill Tracy and blah, 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 blah. They're like, okay, officer, remember, where is that officer's business? Sir, it's not live, it's Memorex, but we have the tape right here, so you can go ahead and go on and play this. Also, we gonna need an order of protection for when Crazy get out the nervous hospital, because she not killing us. And the cops were like, great. Okay, so terrific. Here's your order of protection. I mean, there was a process, but basically they got an order of protection. And then it was ran in the newspaper. Remember that billionaire guy, Steve, that got unalived by this random woman, Tracy, who was a friend of his wife? The daughters have gotten an order of protection. And also the mama is saying she hired a hit person to kill Tracy. Now, Tracy is no dummy. Yes, she's a murderess, but she's not that stupid. So she's just like reading in her daily paper, like, oh, story about the girls. Let's see what's going on with the girls. Let's see. Okay, order of protection. Great. Wait. They were recording the heifer? And she hired a hit person to kill me? What? So she was like, where's that detective's phone number? Because I would like to confess and I have things to say. So Tracy was like, look, let me tell you the whole story. Yes, we met in the nervous hospital. Yes, I have issues. She has issues, but we got together and we were having a love affair. Oh, really? Okay. She was like, we were in love and she told me that her husband was abusive and I thought I was protecting her. People, let me help you out here. If you're willing to unalive somebody to protect the love of your life, that's probably not going to go good for you. Maybe it happens all the time and we don't really know, but that spirit of like Captain Save-A-Ho that might be living somewhere inside you, I'm going to need you to let that go because that's just not going to go good for you. Do you watch true crime? Have you ever seen that just turn out spectacularly and terrific? I have not. I've seen a whole lot of cases where dudes, usually men, are like, I'm going to protect my girlfriend by killing this other person. Protect your girlfriend by helping her get a new apartment. You know what I mean? Like, you should help your friends, but not by unaliving people because you might end up in jail. And nobody really wants to go to jail. Some folks out here acting like they want to go to jail, but actual really going to prison? That's not a thing. That's not a thing that people want to do. So anyway, so Tracy is like, I'm about to spill everything. And so they're like, great. So they slap the cuffs on Celeste, take her to jail. And Celeste was like, I do not know why my lesbian lover killed my husband for no good reason. I did not threaten to kill my daughters or her. Oh, you have tapes. You have tapes. Okay. And it's a Memorex. Listen. If it was Sony or something else, or one of them cheap, Walgreens brands cassette tapes, that could be anybody's voice. But on a Memorex, the Memorex tapes, back in the day, they recorded good. Their slogan was, is it live or is it Memorex? That's how clear their tapes were. So they got up in court and they were like, press play, because you don't have to press play and record. When you just play in the back, push the rewind button, play, let it run. Everybody was like, This heifer out here saying she hired a hit person and just running her mouth. And so the psychiatrist was like, right, she was in a histrionic state and she accidentally confessed to murder. And the judge and the jury and them was like, right. Okay. Daughters, Christina and Jennifer, can you get up here and tell us your story? And they were like, yeah, our mama was always crazy. In fact, she was so crazy, we thought the crazy was normal. Turns out that's not how most families go. And then Tracy got up and was like, I was madly in love with her. I was trying to protect her. We had a lesbian relationship. Turns out she probably didn't even like me. She only married Steve because he was a millionaire. And then she hired me, or she became friends with me so I could unalive Steve so she could get his money. Right. Turns out a mere 6 months after Celeste had married Steve, she had run up $500,000 in just like tchotchkes and junk. And that's back in 1999 when $500,000 was a lot of money. So they were like, oh, she liked to spend. Okay. So the jury is out for 35 seconds. Listen, they probably decided this verdict before lunch came. They was in the hallway like, what you think? You think she did? I think she didn't. Obviously, the girlfriend, the Memorex. Obviously. So she gets convicted. But the real question is she going to go down for like a little piece of time on account of, she was in a nervous hospital a couple times, or is she going to get like for real, prison? And so the judge was like, Right. Okay. So the jury has found you are guilty, and I'm going to give you some big girl prison. It's like the for real, LWOP, life without the possibility of parole. And Celeste was like, oh, this did not turn out the way I had planned. That's unfortunate. The fortunate news, if there is any to be had, is those girls, Jennifer and Christina, no longer had to hide from their mama, and they could go on and get lots and lots and lots of therapy to become good and productive citizens and human beings. One of the girls has a life that she loves and children and whatever, and the other has a life that she loves where she works a lot and has great friends and whatever, and everybody lives happily ever after. Here's the other part of it. I was like, oh, who got custody of Steve's money? That's what I want to know. So turns out, since he adopted the girls, they were his only living relatives, and so they got Steve's millions, and so that money is living happily ever after as well, probably paying for a lot of therapy, which obviously they would need. If your mama is just like controlling, or made sure that like you only ever ate 3 grapes, or like made you stay at soccer practice or practice the piano or whatever, that's one kind of therapy. If your mama was trying to get you and your sister to have matching caskets, that's a whole new level of therapy. And I would imagine that a lot of money goes to that therapy, but turns out these girls, to the best of our knowledge, have not unalived anybody and have not had return visits to the nervous hospital. Also, they don't call their mom, they call her Celeste. In fact, I had to watch this twice because I was like, wait, which one is the mama? Is Tracy the mama or is Celeste the mama? Because they didn't say my mom. They just kept saying, well, Celeste did this and Celeste did that. And I was like, who is Celeste? Celeste is the crazy behind mama who's now LWOP'd, tucked away safely so that these girls can live happily ever after. You know who else is going to live happily ever after? You. Thanks so much for showing up for Lunchtime True Crime, and I will see you back right here tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.